there is nothing stopping you from just making up your own anatomy. I'm going to decide right here and right now that this species has triangular head and the eyes look like this, kind of like a fox, and they have wiggly arms, and then the rest of them kind of looks like a mermaid, and they've got really nice hair. I mean, who's stopping you? So, but I am here today to give you some tips on how to convince others that you know anatomy and that you've read like a 500-page book on it, and that you've drawn and copied every single pose you've ever seen and all the muscles. You know what all the muscles are called, including the venus. Is that a muscle? Anyway, this is how to kind of make people look realistic. Also, I got braces a few days ago, so excuse the slight lisp. Okay, I'm gonna work top down, head to toe. Right, so what I see a lot of beginners doing is that they'll make a face like this, face, the nose, and then they'll place the eyes like really high up, kind of like that. But I think what happens is that because the eyes are so important, they just kind of forget that eyebrows exist, and in reality you need room for eyebrows. So just like bring this down a bit. On another note, if we take this head and look at its side profile, kind of like this, right? And the eyes here about. You can see that the shape of the head, it caves in and it goes out again for the eye socket, right? But when you're drawing a face from the front view, I do this too, you kind of forget like the terrain of the face, so then it's difficult to shade because you don't know where shadows are meant to go. A pretty consistent shadow on faces is here, because that's where the roof of the eye is, so there tends to be a lot of sort of shadows around this area, and the more old and haggard looking you want them to be, the more shadows there are. Banana. Okay, cool. Also, ear placement. So ear placement is really important to the perspective of your drawing. Say if someone's looking kind of down-ish, let's say the nose is here, eyes are there, sort of thing. So usually I draw ears starting from eye level down to sort of the bottom of the nose, but that changes depending on perspective. So if they're looking kind of down, like usually I would draw the ear around here, but because they're looking down, I'll draw the ear slightly above, and that just sort of makes it clear that they're looking down. This is my ear, right? So the ear goes up when you look down, and it goes down when you look up, and it just looks a bit jarring if it's in the same place no matter what. So related to this is the rotation of the head. So let's say you're drawing like you want to get good at someone kissing. You wanna draw two people kissing. Well, people don't kiss like straight on, right? They tilt their head a bit, they like rotate, and then they go in for the kill. I mean, I'm so single. Anyway, what happens is that the ear will also go up that time, because they're tilting, let's say they're tilting it that way. And then you can also see more of the neck, and the neck is connected to the chin, kind of like this. To put it simply, the jawline isn't just always like that and like that. There's always a bit of skin that connects the neck to the bottom of the chin. It is difficult though. I don't really have the hang of it yet either. Okay, cool. This tip is gonna help you draw the nicest hair ever. Let's say we have a head shape here. So the skull isn't completely spherical, right? It kind of depends on like how you were raised as a baby, if your parents dropped you or something, I don't really know. Most of the time the skull kind of goes like this, right? Like it's not... Jesus Christ. So where this tends to come in useful is when you're drawing hair and such. If I'm drawing a girl and I want to give her a ponytail, I'll kind of make it go up a bit, her hair, because that tends to be how the skull is shaped. And then for a high ponytail, it'll go like that. So the shape of the skull just kind of makes the silhouette look a bit prettier. It's like this, not completely spherical, but like this. Okay? Yes. Okay, when I drew women in dresses, I used to draw them like this, like that. This would be the head and stuff, and then you'd have a body, and then they'd be like this, right? Which is vaguely fine, but she really just looks like a piece of cardboard, right? And that's because when I was a wee little girl, I didn't know that the spine was not straight. It's S-curved. So let's take our girl from earlier, and if I want to make her look pretty and really accentuate her spine, her back, I'll sort of make a little flow like this. That's her spine because it's an S, and then I'll follow it down. And she has arms, obviously, and then it'll go out a bit. Wee. So it's curvy, not straight. Alright, next. Let's say we have a head here, clavicles, and she is raising her arm like this. Again, let's say her torso goes something like this. This is one of the more obscure ones, I think. It's that pectorals move with the arms because the muscle is connected to the arm, like the chest area. So what that means is it doesn't make sense for her chest to be here in like a straight line. It actually has to follow the direction of her arm, which is this way. So in reality, her chest should start somewhere up here and then like be lower down here. In essence, if her arm is raised, the chest on the raised arm is going to be higher than the non-raised one, and that looks a lot more natural. Yeah. Okay, let's say I have this nice young lady here, and I want to draw her doing like a pose. So I'll do like this, and then I'll be like this, right? She's gonna do a little thingamabob. The way I used to do at this point is overdraw this part, because I didn't account for the elbow. I used to be like, okay, well this part has to be around this length, and then this part is around this length, but that just looks really weird now. Here it just helps to remember that the elbow is diagonal, not parallel to the other end, the other point of your arm. Like this part, my elbow is diagonal to this part when it's bent. Just make sure that the arm bends at a diagonal angle, not like a straight one. Nice. SpongeBob, my boy. Okay, I guess I'll just continue with this cursed Mr. Krabs thing. I would like you all to remind yourselves that even though you are drawing 2D characters, they are probably 3D people in their own world. What I mean is that if I wanted to draw her abs, they wouldn't span this entire thing. Like, it wouldn't be like that, right? Because she's 3D, she also has, her body is a cuboid, so she's got a side length to her, which means that this part is gonna be shaded differently to her front, which means that where the abs actually are and the navel is this area right here. So this is where abs would be. Not that I can draw abs, but just pretend I can. One of those! And if you wanted to shade, what I tend to do is shade this part first, because unless there's a light source directly coming in between here, this part is pretty much just gonna be shadowed. And if she has a particularly big chest, then this part is also gonna be shadowed. And then shadow abs as normal. Not that I would know how to shade abs. Anyway, I just want to point out the same for chest. So if you wanted to draw the chest here, it's not going to be like this, because the chest isn't going to be at the side, that's her armpit, right? It's gonna be here, the chest is gonna be here, one there, and one there. Okay? Okay. You're understanding me very good. So legs aren't that difficult to draw in theory. They just go in, then there's the knee, and then it's just like that, right? But it's difficult when you are trying to draw an entire body and the whole pose just looks off because it's difficult to get the center of balance. So legs themselves aren't hard, but trying to draw legs in a full picture is quite difficult. So what I tend to do is draw like basically a stick figure of movement before I try to do a whole body drawing. Literally just anything. As long as it has a head and 4 limbs and a spine, that's all you need. Like this, for example. Yeah, that works. Or like this, for example. I know it doesn't look like anything, but trust me, trust me. Okay. Let's turn this into something actually resembling a human. Okay, forget that happened. Let's try this one. Maybe that wasn't great advice. Anyway, that is all the tips I had for you today. Hands and feet, yeah, I know I didn't talk about them. Gee, I wonder why. Haha, it's because I can't draw them either. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you have any video recommendations or things you want to learn from me, a complete amateur, let me know. Bye.